Hello and welcome to Lessons in Marketing Excellence Season 4. Today we're at IIM-Bangalore. As you may know, IIMB is among the top 5 management institutes in India according to all prestigious B School rankings and is well known for its stellar placement record. But what also makes this a favorite destination for students is the cosmopolitan city, its large student exchange program, and the fact that it's considered to be the most fun IIM campus to be on.
This institute's IIM journey has been interesting. They finished last in the first season and managed to move up just a little to third place from the bottom in IIM 2. But in a dramatic turnaround, this fabulous team from IIMB, comprising of Shivani Pal, Mansi Baranwal and Aditya Mukherjee, beat 3 other institutes at the grand finale last year. They won IIM Season 3 with their solutions to the Indian Railways challenge.
So this year the teams from IIM-Bangalore are all set to defend their institute's performance on the IIM stage. They have a very interesting case this year for the campus round. It comes from a 134-year-old media brand. I'm talking about the most widely read newspaper in South India, The Hindu. Take a look.
Since its inception in 1878, The Hindu has earned the reputation of being an immensely respected newspaper that puts out credible and balanced news and analysis. The English daily has a loyal readership of over 22 lakhs and enjoys market leadership in South India. Over the past few years, The Hindu has been facing competitive pressures in the form of new entrants and the fight for breaking news. The Times of India launched in Chennai in 2008, wooing readers with its style of journalism that can be entertaining and sensational. A no-holds-barred ad war ensued. This TV campaign by TOI in October 2011 urged readers to switch, referring to The Hindu as a boring product. The Hindu then launched this surprisingly aggressive counter-campaign in March 2012.
What does ATM stand for?
Anytime money. Automatic terminated money.
All-time machine.
Anytime money.
You should be knowing this.
Which Bollywood heroine is associated with size 0?
Karina.
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 Which newspaper do you read?
While The Hindu considers its campaign a success, its primary concern is to increase readership and revenues in the competitive market environment by leveraging its brand equity. And that is the task for the teams from IIMB.
We know that our brand has solid and fantastic equity. The questions that emerge now are, what next? There are issues across the world on newspaper business. There are issues in terms of spiraling costs. There are several new alternatives that are coming in, alternate media vehicles. Television is big. Internet is now reaching in a lot more. So how do we optimize, how do we monetize the brand better in the future?
So the teams have to come up with a strategy to increase brand loyalty and readership, which will translate into advertiser interest and higher revenues. This has to be done without compromising on the brand's core values of high editorial standards and commitment to social equality.
And the two teams will be taking up the challenge from The Hindu later today, call themselves Alta Logic and Mark to Marketing. And they're meeting me today at the Bengaluru offices of The Hindu. Guys, have you had a chance to be inside a Hindu newsroom before? Well, so what we're going to do now is give our teams the newsroom experience. They're going to head up, meet the editorial staff and gain some valuable insight that should help them with their presentation. Teams, off you go.
This visit, I think, really helped us because now we get a sense of what exactly goes on inside the firm so that our recommendations are in sync with what exactly they're thinking.
In The Hindu, the pastry is hard news.
We were bursting with questions. What we wanted to know was when Hindu is trying to modernize, what are the things that they want to maintain across the news items and what are the things that they want to change?
What is the most important part? Is it presenting the facts or is it giving Hindus' opinion on it?
We take our readers more seriously.
Well, now that the teams have had a chance to experience newsroom life, we're going to see just how well they've understood the ethos and values of the Hindu brand. And to do that, joining me now is Mr. Vasudeva Murthy, Assistant Editor with the Hindu in Bengaluru. Team Mark to Marketing, you're going to go first. Mr. Murthy selected 8 pieces of news. Your task is to prioritize these 8 pieces of news, write headlines for all of them, and lay out a dummy front page of the Hindu. You'll have 15 minutes and your time starts now.
SE ruling led to water release.
We will then choose the second link later. Okay.
We actually brainstormed. We had a lot of fun. We found that very interesting because looking from a competitor's point of view, the kind of news that would be in the front page would have been different.
In the next line, the smaller heading.
Here I think
auction you don't need a picture.
Picture is not required.
We actually had a strategy of going from national and then to the regional news in the first page and moving the entertainment stuff inside the newspaper, not on the first page.
But we need to put two more actually.
you can actually show someone carrying an LPG in a bike or something.
Oh, I'm saying that it's very little space, right? There you can't put a picture.
Sure.
Okay.
The strategy is very simple. So what we went about was, how do we give it an interesting, an interesting headline so that it's explanatory as well as it's eye-catching. So that's basically where we put in all our efforts, and we think that we did a fairly good job as far as that is concerned.
LPG has to come somewhere. We have to fit an LPG somewhere here. We can put Aishwarya Rai वहाँ पे ना.
No, I want both the LPG and the
LPG and the garbage. I want Aishwarya Rai there. No.
So you want a picture
graphic
and graphic?
No, there's just a graphic.
First of all, this utilization of space is less.
यहाँ पे ऐश्वर्या राय छोटा सा है. अरे इतना लंबा नहीं करना, छोटा लिखना है. ऐश्वर्या राय UN Guru लंबा है.
Alright, both teams have finished their activities and the two front pages are with Vasu. Vasu, which team would you like to pick as the winner?
Both teams have done the same thing. They picked the same stories and all. But when it comes to display, I will pick Mark to Marketing as a winner.
Alright, Mark to Marketing, you've won this activity. Do you think this is going to help you a little bit when you make your presentation?
Yeah, actually, one of our recommendations in our presentation was about how to improve the readability of Hindu assets. So obviously, it reinforces our ideas and gives us a much needed confidence in the finals.
And Vasu, any words for our second team, Alta Logic?
Don't leave anything blank, like you left these traplines blank. Try to use more pictures because it's more of visual journalism these days.
Alright, thank you teams. Thank you Vasu for spending your time with us today. And we're going to take a quick break here, but coming up on the other side will be the presentations from both teams.
What according to you is the biggest challenge?
Ammunition which we'll use basically is the trust and credibility.
There's not much of advertising support that comes for these weekly products.
Build a brand, build awareness about the existence of such a product.
Welcome back. You're watching Lessons in Marketing Excellence Season 4, and our campus round today is coming to you from the home of our defending champions, IIM-Bangalore. We have two teams ready with their solutions to the case study from the Hindu, and joining us on the jury are Suresh Srinivasan from the Hindu and Siddharth Banerjee from Hindustan Unilever. Our resident judge Anuradha Sengupta couldn't make it to Bangalore today, so it's just a two-man jury. Our first team ready with their presentation is Team Mark to Marketing. Boys, if you're all set, you'll have 3 minutes and your time starts now.
The objective of our case analysis is to develop ideas and strategies that help in translating the immense brand equity of the Hindu into business gains. We propose to realize this objective by 1. Reassuring the existing readers of the Hindu, 2. Acquiring new subscribers from the Hindu's target segment, and 3. Launching related products and venturing into the alternate media platforms. Our insights have been gained through primary and secondary research techniques. We have ensured that the recommendations that are here to follow are in line with the core values of the brand, the Hindu. We recommend reassuring the existing readers and acquire new subscribers through levers such as product improvements, pricing, distribution, and branding. Let's move on to product improvements. 1. We suggest an highlighter feature which will have the key sentences highlighted for the time-pressed reader, and a synonyms feature which will provide the meaning of 7 to 8 difficult words used in that space spanning half an inch length at the bottom of that page for beginners who find difficulty in understanding the words. 2. Synopsis and to be continued contents. Around 13% of the Hindu articles have synopsis as against 24% of TOI. Hence, Hindu needs to improve on synopsis, interactive story flow content through graphics and visuals. Certain articles need to be published in parts so as to inculcate a regular reading habit among the users. Moving on to branding and distribution. Over 229 million passenger trips happen per day by auto rickshaws in India. Our research provided an interesting insight that passengers tend to look at the images while traveling, hence there is good potential for advertisement attention. Hence, we recommend Hindu to establish tie-ups with auto unions and install newspaper box in autos. Similar things could also be done on city Volvos. This will tremendously help in generating more advertisement revenues due to increased readership. With respect to pricing, we recommend target unique subscription fees for the dense segments like college hostel students who will be the immediate entrance into the critical cohort. Finally, on the branding, we have a couple of recommendations too. Branding the journalist. Our suggestion here is to incorporate the photo and the email ID of the key journalist so that readers become fans of the journalist. We can also provide a web platform for them to interact. Secondly, promotion in schools and colleges through special books on GK courses. Our research revealed that Hindu is considered pretty less participative, hence we recommend to increase their citizen journalism. Moving on to alternate revenue generation streams. We recommend Hindu to enter into tie-ups with vernacular newspapers, especially in North India, because of the latter lead in terms of both subscribers and advertisers, while the local radio channels providing the news content. Also, Hindu needs to strengthen its online presence through the establishment of online community networks among the readers. Finally, on the new product development front, let's look at 1. The Hindu Speaks. We recommend that Hindu to come up with a book that is a compilation of important editorials which are time immune, which can serve as an exam preparation resource for the aspiring students. 2. We recommend a weekly recogner, bringing in a weekly ready recogner comprising of weekly's important happenings, since families, especially in the semi-urban, buy English newspaper only on the Sundays. Thus, after exploring each ideas and evaluations based on the reading impact, we conclude by suggesting Hindu to focus on the ideas suggested under product improvements, pricing, distribution, and branding in the short term, and those under the new product developments, alternate media platforms on the longer term to achieve the true potential of its superior brand value. Thank you to the Hindu, HUL, and the CNBC for this opportunity.
What, according to you, is the biggest challenge currently that Hindu faces, and which is that aspect of the core value of Hindu that you will use as ammunition to tackle that challenge?
Actually, the biggest challenge for Hindu as such, since it has penetrated the South Indian market already, it's basically to penetrate into the North Indian market, and also having not a presence in the vernacular newspapers which have a much more advertising and reach. That is the biggest challenge. So what we have proposed here is actually to tie up with vernacular newspapers, especially in the Hindi belt in the first place, and basically provide content on education, international affairs, science and technology, which are not the core competency of vernacular newspapers. By this, you get into the awareness set of the consumers in the north, and the important ammunition which we'll use basically is the trust and credibility, which are core values of Hindu brand, and the number of civil service aspirants and other management aspirants in the north belt is very high. So we propose to target that segment in the Hindi belt and also use our trust and credibility as ammunition to get into that market.
You mentioned something about providing some holders in auto rickshaws where the newspaper can be kept.
Yes, sir.
Do you think the Hindu as a product and the auto rickshaw as a category and the rider of the auto rickshaw, is there a connect?
Actually, we observed few auto guys who is the kind of person who are traveling in the auto. Interestingly, what we found in urbans is like most of the people who travel in autos are capable of reading English newspaper. So once we install the box and keep the newspaper, the tendency is to just browse through the papers, and due to the traffic congestion which is happening, on an average people are spending 20 minutes on traveling by auto. So there's good incentive for them to browse through the advertisement in the Hindu, which Hindu can pitch to the advertisers saying like, see, increased people are viewing the advertisement while traveling, and hence more revenue could be generated.
You mentioned one more aspect about wanting to bring out a weekly digest of the week's happenings and all that. One of the challenges most publications face is how do you support these weekly products, because there's not much of advertising support that comes for these weekly products. So how would we manage this challenge?
In order to start off with, we can have this weekly subscription along with the regular subscription packages. So every Sunday you just deliver this in the initial 1 month, actually something like a free of cost to the existing subscribers, and build a brand, build awareness about existence of such a product, and then it will translate into higher readership for the product.
Okay. Well done, Mark to Marketing. 3 boys from South India. You certainly seem to take to this challenge from the Hindu. We're going to take a quick break here, but when we come back, we'll have the presentation from Team Alter Logic.
What's the consonance with the brand value or the core brand values of Hindu?
That is just a strict no-no.
I think that's too much of a gamble for a brand like Hindu to take that stance.
Content of the thali is same, but also the presentation matters.
Welcome back. You're watching LIME Season 4, and our campus round is coming to you today from IIM-Bangalore, where 2 teams are locked in an intense battle presenting their solutions to a case study from the Hindu. Our second team ready with their presentation is Team Alter Logic. You'll have 3 minutes, and your time starts now.
As per one of our respondents, Hindu is seen as a respectable old man who imparts wisdom with an immaculate grammar and polished English. 80% of our respondents believe that the Hindu has superior quality content. 35% believe that the appearance is monotonous. 20% believe that the read is strenuous. of the 58 respondents that we had from 12 different states, we had equal number of people who read just the Hindu, just the TI, or for that matter, both the newspapers. The simple solutions that we suggest now aim to keep the current loyalist intact, whereby increasing the readership overall.
Okay, let's look at some of our suggestions now. Most importantly, a picture is worth 1,000 words. We're saying extensive use of pictures in the form of graphics, charts, tables, etc., and augment that with the help of good captioning, such that the whole product is able to communicate the exact storyline that the article is trying to progress. A large section of the 120 million English-speaking people who go to work don't have as much time. So this kind of will give them the option of a quick read, which they can use while traveling. And this also sort of will help towards getting rid of the lack of visual appeal that some first-time buyers complain against. Next, we looked at a slight change in the presentation with which we present our content. We propose using small tidbits, like small tweets, basically some tweet posts, which can be padded within an article, which when read in succession, gives a gist of what the article is talking about. Now, NYU's done some research, basically backs our claim that the current youth does not have an attention span of more than 140 characters. So what we're trying to do is, using these tidbits, we're trying to tell them what the story is about and attract their attention, encourage further reading, and then produce this talkability that, this is a paper that the youth can relate to because they talk our language. The third thing that we want to talk about is really the website. It's the alternate medium, 120 million users, with about 40% of which are using smartphones to be online all the time. What we are saying is, we have some small changes that we would like to suggest. The couple of which are repositioning the breaking news as well as the most popular section further up, which will make it prominent so that the moment a visitor comes to that page, that's the first thing that person sees. Secondly, another thing that we noticed was possibly using slightly more vibrant colors than grey, such as red, black, or blue. Blue being the color that the Hindu logo uses, so probably that again increases the visual appeal of the website. The third thing we noticed was the ads that was being placed could be slightly repositioned so that it could provide space to content and still be positioned enough in such a way that it's still visible to the audience. So that's as far as the website is concerned. Now, unfortunately, the NIE program, we were looking to extend the NIE program further because the reach is basically we've reached about 10% of the time. And can we take one more line? So beyond, so the NIE program is one that we're trying to talk about. And the last thing we're talking about is co-creation, where we want the users to, we want the involvement of the consumer and provide them a sense of ownership about the product, and then hence provide them a platform to provide a positive externality of social benefit. So basically, these are the solutions. We've tried to give them as simple as possible without any time limitations or scalability issues. And I think if we make these kind of changes, Hindu can then produce news that is just different from everybody else.
See, all of us produce a thali. It's no different from your mess here. Every day he's got a challenge to give you a wholesome meal that you go back feeling satisfied after you had it. Spend 20 minutes on it. Our readers also spend 20 minutes on the newspaper. And we believe that at the end of it, he gets excited, satisfied, enriched, and whatever, empowered. So how different can we make this thali than what is traditionally being offered? Anything on this you'd like to comment, that how do we make our product offering different?
First thing is, as you talked about, the content of the thali is same, but also the presentation matters. And as we took the views of our respondents, we realized that they are looking for more visual appeal, things which can cut down their time. So for that, we have recommended coming up with more pictures. And so we have also come up with an idea of having tweets. Next, we have talked about a concept called co-creation. Though most of the newspapers bring in the city news, but what co-creation talks about is people coming and saying what they want in the news.
Do you think it's possible that the people who are involved to co-create this product, which are done by professionals like us, consumers would be having the capabilities to enhance the product offering?
Every cook asks for feedback. So every cook comes down to, meets the clients and says, would you like this? Do you think we could have done anything different? So feedback is one thing wherein you could, that's one way of seeing co-creation.
I know some of the other publications do a lot of gimmicky stuff of inviting some celebrity to do the entire editing of a page. I think it's extremely gimmicky. It's a trashy product that comes out at the end, because you're leaving it to a rookie to say, this is the product I'm going to serve you, and you're hoping that it is going to be better than an expert cook who delivers the product. So I think that's too much of a gamble for a brand like Hindu to take that stance.
When we said co-creation, what we had in mind was not celebrity. Like for example, when in very dire situations, when you have, let's say, a natural disaster, people can contribute, okay, this is what is going on at this position, and then that can be the online co-creation that we had in mind. Another thing that we had in mind is, let's say there's small, every city has problems, small problems which the municipal corporation may or may not be looking into. So let's say a person from the society stands up and takes a position and does something about it. So we would then call him a local hero, and then provide a platform where we would provide him the kind of exposure which can probably inspire other people. And that is the social benefit angle that we were bringing in.
So think about this. The Hindu stands for journalistic ethics of the highest order, a story truthfully and well told, and you're saying get into tweeting, which is distillation of news, making it snappy, punchy, whatever you choose to call it, in 140 characters. What's the consonance with the brand value or the core brand values of Hindu?
We are not saying that the content will get convoluted in any particular manner. That is just a strict no.
Sure.
We are saying that if you need 2, if you need 3, if you need 4, as many as you need, use those tweets to build a story around the article. That is all we are saying.
Okay, thank you.
Well done, Altalogic. You've certainly given the judges a lot of food for thought in their thalis. And we're going to give the judges a couple of minutes to take a decision on which team gets to represent IIM-Bangalore in the semi-finals.
While the teams step out to think about what they could have done better, we got a peek into the jury's assessment of how each team actually understood the challenge.
I don't think anything game-changing came out from anybody. To be honest, no one big idea has come out.
First team also looked at the whole case a little bit more holistically.
Mr. Srinivasan from Hindu actually asked a question about the weekly radio reckoner, which was something put us on the spot actually.
You can highlight this in the sense that both the teams missed these simple points.
Very, very simple points.
It goes back to the whole idea of whether the teams understood really what the brand stands for.
The one part which we wish was done better was the co-creation part, wherein we could have given up some more implementable ideas.
I have the results with me, and the winners of LIME Season 4 on campus at IIM-Bangalore are Team Mark to Marketing. Congratulations, Mark to Marketing. And can I now ask Suresh, what made the judges choose Team Mark to Marketing?
Between these two teams, Team A, which is Mark to Marketing, definitely packed a lot more ideas across branding, product improvements and distribution than Team B did. And definitely they came out as a better winner.
Judges, thank you once again for your time. Congratulations to both teams. And that just about wraps things up on another intense campus round of LIME Season 4 right here in IIM-Bangalore. Do join us next week when we'll move on to another campus.
Absolutely thrilled, and I would rather say we are in a complete IIM mode right now, and amazing to have a bunch of friends who have helped all throughout to get into this space, and yeah, I mean full of excitement and happiness on my face. Absolutely thrilled, and I would rather say we are in a complete IIM mode right now, and amazing to have a bunch of friends who have helped all throughout to get into this space, and yeah, I mean full of excitement and happiness on my face. When we actually took up the case, we never thought that we'll just stick to one dimension. We just went across the horizons, like be it that from pricing, we went on to the distribution, identifying new modes by which we can convert the non-users who are still a potential target, get into the space. So once we went across that horizon, it's actually, I think that has actually clicked us to better the other team, as what people said. So, yeah. What I would say actually worked for us is like we just went across the horizon. Yeah, we didn't restrict ourselves to one or two few marketing concepts as such. We just covered entire. Actually, for the past 1 month, we have been winning few events, so we have a great amount of confidence in us. So we just need to sit back and again get our back to the rigorous schedule of analyzing the case and start with the consumer research and then take it forward. So I think we are up to the task and we will do a fantastic job in the semis. So as I was just saying, like we are right now representing one of the India's best B school. So obviously the pressure is pretty much high, but somehow I have the feel that we will definitely do a fantastic job because the curriculum has taught us a lot.